All right, good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with The Go Show, your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. And we're going to do that today for sure because there's so much going on. And I actually did go on my Facebook page and shared a whole bunch of events happening, not only this week, but also in the short future out. Happy anniversary to Ellen and Jerry Sothergill, and happy birthday to Jesse Triplett. Some of my great friends are celebrating today, and there's so much going on. But before I do, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for Robertson County. Thank you for keeping us safe in the storms last night. Thank you for taking this show exactly where you want it to go. Wake those people up that need to hear this stuff. Give me the words that you want me to say. We love you. We praise you. We need you in the mighty and matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus. Amen. All right. Good morning. It is Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. It's Wednesday, July 22nd. And yes, there's a lot going on, but I was so excited to see what was in my mailbox yesterday, right here. Did you all see this? By the way, if you don't get the connection in your mailbox, you really should. Because, yeah, I know they have an online version, but the newspaper version is different, and it's also really fun. Of course, you know I'm retro Lee Marie. I love most things retro, and newspapers are definitely in that category. But, you know, it's so cool because Tennessee Rhythm, look at this. It says Square Dancing Team captures state championship. So our very own Robertson County team came away with the state championship. And so you can read all about it. They got some cool pictures on there. And, of course, you know who's in that group. That's right, Elizabeth, and she is Elizabeth Clark, and she is starting the first Monday of August, she's doing her footwork dancing class, and you got to get out for that because this is a first time that she's going to be doing level 1, and so you want to get in on the ground floor. It's only... I'm going to let you still get that early bird since you're listening and since you're up early. You can still get that early bird of $79 for all 5 weeks. It is going to meet on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Well in the Square Ballroom. So it's inside Crossroads, where many of you get your homeschool curricula. So go in there, but sign up today so you can get that $79 deal because it's normally $99. All right. And Elizabeth Clark on her own has won several championships herself. So this clogging class is for everyone. How about ages 10 and up through adult? All right. Because you all need this. And if you think like, well, I don't know if I could do that, it might be too aerobic, whatever. Well, you know what? Pay $20, come and try the first class and take it from there. Because, just like with anything, even with line dancing, you can always do like a lower impact version on your own. You just don't jump as high. You just don't, there's ways to work around that. So anyways, please check that out. You can go to the Well in the Square Facebook page and you can get all the information from there. Okay. And also just to remind you guys, this show is not only on the WSGI1100.com website, and on the radio, of course, 1100, which I hope all of you have 1100 programmed into your phone. That'd be really great because there's so much fun stuff that's going on WSGI all the time. Like, I love the show. But you can also, there's a phone app. And for WSGI, both the Android and Apple have programs for that. So you can certainly go ahead and do that. But then also the Facebook page, and it is up and running. I did just check that. So WSGI does have a Facebook page that is up and running. And sometimes you have to log out and log back in. If you were listening to Laverne's show, you might have to log out and log back in. But there I am right there on WSGI. It says Go Show with Lee Marie. So you can share that show because there's a lot of calendar stuff, guys. I go over a lot of calendar stuff. And it's all about community connection. That is what we need. We need to... if you are connected with people, with other humans, your health is going to be better, your attitude's going to be better, your information's going to be better, right? Because, you'll be like for instance, I was just talking with Laverne when I came in. I said, how's Mark? Because he got stung by a wasp last week. She's like, oh my gosh, that stuff you gave me, it really worked. I'm like, yeah. And my friend was at my house yesterday. She had a wasp sting as well. And I said, here, try this. And sure enough. And so this is stuff that we learned at the homeopathy class that Pat Samler did. She did a free class 2 Saturdays ago, I think it was now. And we learned all about, ledum for stings and apis. And these are natural things that you can get on Amazon for like, $10. And they don't, interact with anything else that you're doing. And it's natural. And it's wonderful. So anyways, I did want to mention about the homeopathy. So Pat Samler did a class. We had a full house. It was wonderful, but we had some people that were unable to attend. So I'm going to tell y'all, if you want to, I have 3 people right now who want her to do another free intro homeopathy class. So if you want to join in on that, I need you to private message me so that we can tell Miss Pat how many we got and pick a date that's good for y'all. So we're looking at maybe a weekday afternoon or maybe a Saturday morning. I'm not sure, but she wants to get it in before she starts. She has a Zoom that's going to be starting in mid-August, and so you're going to want to. We're going to want to do that before that, because if you like this free class, you might want to join her Zoom, which Steve and I are going to join it because it was just a no-brainer. I mean, how you can save money and heartache by with natural remedies is like, oh yes, of course we want to do that. So anyways, if you're interested, please private message me on Facebook. That's the easiest way. So you can either go to the Lee Marie Facebook page, which is just Lee Marie. My profile picture is a white circle that says put God at the center of everything, because that is what I need to remind myself every single minute of the day. Or you can private message me through the Well in the Square Facebook page. And that Well in the Square page, my profile picture is my favorite picture of the year so far. And that was one that was taken at the Opry when we were singing with the Music City Christian Fellowship for Sunday Morning Country in June. And it's a picture of me with a cowboy hat on and a flag dress. And so, red, white, and blue and stuff. So anyways, that's my profile pic on Well in the Square. But you can find me really easily on Facebook, and private message me and say, yeah, I do want to come to a free homeopathy class. So, get me plugged in, and we'll get that going, because I want to see everybody happy and healthy. That's what Well in the Square is about. Making people happy and healthy. And the reason why I love doing this calendar show is because we are connecting people to other humans, and community connection is very, very important. And so we got so many things. I'm going to open up my Facebook page right now and get to that. We may have a guest coming in. We'll stop the show, this calendar part, if he makes it in. I know he had some emergencies come up, so I'm not sure if he will be making it in, but if he does, then we'll go ahead and do that. But right now I'm going to go to the Lee Marie Facebook page, because I was looking and sharing so much last night. And so first off, today's Wednesday. Okay, so today at 1:00 I'm doing an absolute beginner line dance class. It's $10. Because I was realizing now my students that have been doing line dances for a while, they know like 50 line dances. And so that is very intimidating. Of course, it would be for me too, if I was a new line dance student showing up, because I'd be like, yeah. So in order to be able to kind of help both groups, we are splitting it now and doing a beginner class as well as an intermediate and above. So today at 1:00 at Well in the Square, I'll be doing an absolute beginner class from 1 to 1:30. I hope you guys will come out and get some exercise, make some new friends, and just get a more positive attitude. So that is Thursday. Also, that's Wednesday. Sorry, today's Wednesday, and I'm doing a beginner class at 1:00. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm going to do a beginner line dance class at 10:15 to 10:45, and then our normal intermediate above at 11 to 11:30. That is Thursday. And then Friday, Cindy Norton is going to be doing her 6:15 to 7 stretching, and with resistance bands. That is so wonderful. That's only a $7 class. You really, really should come to that. It's helping us with balance, with everything. I love Cindy Norton's class at Well in the Square. After that, I believe I am doing a beginner line dance class at 7 p.m. Right when her class ends at 7. This Friday, I'm going to do a beginning line dance class. So that's it for the fitness classes at Well in the Square and such this week. But Friday is also something for the gentlemen, and that is the big men's fish fry is happening at 6 p.m. at Fluellen. And you definitely want to come to this, guys. Stephen always goes. He always has a wonderful time. And this is something that all the churches go to. So it's not just Fluellen. They rotate the location every time. I think last time it was at Cedar Hill Baptist. This time it's at Fluellen Baptist. I'm going to bring up that address for you guys if you're listening and maybe you don't know where that is yet because you're new to town. So this is put on by the Harvest Baptist Association, which is for the whole county. And let's see, 6 p.m. at Fluellen, and the address is 7054 Fluellen Road. All right. And so it says, you know what? Just great fish, good food, and a room full of men who know that life isn't always easy. So whether you're carrying burdens, raising a family, building a career, fighting battles that nobody sees, or just looking for some solid friendships, you've got a seat at this table. So this is the annual HBA Men's Fish Fry. So I hope you guys will take advantage of that. It says, bring a son, bring a neighbor, bring a coworker. So, invite people. I love doing that, guys. Remember, I love saying, hey, calling up people and saying, oh, there's something I want to go to, but I don't want to go along. Can I pick you up? I tell you, test that out. It works. For me, it's worked, I think, almost 100% of the time. But anyways, that is this Friday right there at Fluellen. And also, coming up this Friday and Saturday, we do not want to forget, right here. Laverne had them on the show. Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm not sure which one. And I think it was the day before. Anyways, the rodeo is coming to town, guys. This is always, always super fun. And so this is going to be this Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. So I know there's a lot of other things going on, but you can still do stuff and do the rodeo because it doesn't start till 8. And that is right there at the fairgrounds in Robertson County. And you can get advance tickets at Gupton Motors, Riley's Country Charm Market, Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment, and Doris Milling. So get your tickets. They're $25 for adults, $20 for kids 6 through 12. Kids 5 and under are free. So again, that is Friday and Saturday, July 24th and 25th, right there at the Robertson County Fairgrounds, 4635 Highway 41 in Springfield. This is the 35th annual, so super, super cool, always fun. And we pray that the rain stays away. Okay, also this Saturday, I am super excited about this. 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Heart to Heart Marriage Workshop Series starts. Guys, you need to be watering your marriage. Okay, whatever you water grows. And so everybody needs to be doing this. We do not have, and if we do, I'm going to say right now, any church out there that has a fabulous marriage ministry, I want you to private message me and tell me about it and tell me when it meets because I want to get the word out. The enemy is always, always after families, and marriages is where he starts. So we need to make sure that we are nourishing our marriages. So Sheila Bird and David Bird are going to help us make marriage great again, heart to heart. And it says, becoming one should not be hard. And so they've got some really fun interactive exercises and just great things. They've done this before and not here. So this is new for us in Robertson County. So we're super excited. And this is going to start this Saturday, 5 p.m. It's only 5 to 6:30. So again, they did that so that if you did have plans somewhere for that night, for 7 or 8, you could still, come to it. Now, some people I've talked to and they said, well, I can't make it to all 6. That's okay. Or maybe one of the spouses can't make it. They're going to be out of town. That's okay. Still come without your spouse because you'll still get a lot of information that you can carry back. And we understand it's hard to go anywhere 6 Saturdays in a row, right? But make as many as you can. And here's the super cool thing. They just discounted the price to $49 a couple for all 6 weeks. And the last week is actually a date night finale. So it's five Saturdays of workshop and different fun, talking things. But then on the last one is just a social, a date night finale. So super cool. That is going to be at the ballroom inside Crossroads, which is at 600 South Main Street in Springfield. So that starts this Saturday, July 25th, 5 p.m. to 6:30. And then it ends, so this is easy to remember. It starts the last Saturday of July, and it ends the last Saturday of August. So super cool, super easy to remember that. And it's only $59 per couple. Oh, is it $59 or $49? Well, this says $59, so I will have to ask. I've heard both things thrown around. So, and and it is at 600 South Main Street. So if you want to go, please private message Well in the Square, or you can contact the Birds, and their phone number is on the flyer. I think it is 69. 615-944-8441. Again, that's 615-944-8441. I believe that's only $59 per couple, which is an amazing deal. Yeah. All right, so we are super excited that is happening this coming Saturday. That is the first day. All right, I'm going to go back to the Lee Marie page, and I'm going to scroll for you because, oh, yeah. This Friday and Saturday, Kentucky Summer RV Showcase. So you can see a whole bunch of, just the neatest, newest RVs. They're going to have a drawing. They're going to have a contest for a new one. Let's see, they're going to have special pricing, doorbuster specials. They're going to have, again, enter to win a new RV. There's going to be activities for the kids. So this is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, it's 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 11 to 5. So that is at 725 Bluegrass Farms Boulevard in Bowling Green. So I know it's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it, and super fun if you want to scope out RVs for your future. Greenbrier High School is doing a big reunion party, and so I want to tell you about that because this is for classes that graduated between 2000 and 2010. So they're going to have a big party on Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. And that's going to be at the center in Springfield. So if you know anybody that graduated between those years and they went to Greenbrier High School, by all means, please tell them about it. There is a post-adoption support group for parents who have adopted from foster homes. And this is going to be Monday, August 3rd at 6 p.m. This is in Hendersonville, but, it's just so important that we, there's so many kids out there. Every time I see like adoption ads for pets and stuff, I start to cry because I also just think my heart goes out because I start thinking about all the kids out there that are waiting to be adopted. I mean, I know a lot of you have hearts for doggies and kitties that need to be adopted, but don't forget about the kids, guys. I mean, how much more important is that? It makes me cry when I think about it. But anyways, there's support groups for adoption parents. And so, of course, when you are adopting kids, they do have a bunch of resources for you, but they're realizing that, after that, sometimes the families will, they just need to talk to other families. And because there's so many things that happen after, an adoption is finalized in the court, the journey doesn't end there. So if you have adopted children from foster care, you are invited to this. I mean, you will get connection with other parents that understand you. You'll just be able to get a lot of advice and just talk and hash things out. So if you want to do that, that is going to be in Hendersonville. It's 13 Industrial Park Drive, Suite 100 in Hendersonville. And this event is by the Foster Families Assistant Network. So maybe you haven't adopted yet, but you are interested. You can also contact that organization. And I have a link to it on my Facebook page. Okay, there's a lot of back to school events coming up. Tons of them. So you might want to get your pen out because I know a lot of you got kiddos or people with kiddos. So I'm going to be covering that after this short little break here because I want to tell you, Gary over at Ridgetop Mower of Springfield, he is back in town. So you can call him because he is right now servicing mowers. He is at 1101 Matthews Street in Springfield. And his phone number is 615-855-0044. Again, that's 615-855-0044. If you tell him that Lee Marie sent you and you want 10% off your parts and labor, he's going to give that to you. But you got to ask. So make sure that you do that, okay? So Ridgetop Mower of Springfield for all of your fixin' mower needs. I know some people, I guess they got the money. They go on to buy a new zero turn like every other year or something. I'm like, why don't you just get that serviced? Our mowers are like our cars. If you're not putting oil in and changing oil and doing stuff you should be, blowing out all the crud that, gets collected, they're not going to work very well. If you're driving around with blades that are dull, I mean, come on, guys. It just takes a little bit of maintenance. So instead of spending thousands of dollars, spend hundreds and go get it fixed. All right. They do have pickup and delivery services that you can purchase as well. And I heard he is still picking up stuff for free. Like if you have old equipment that's, an eyesore and you just like, I don't know what this even is anymore, or maybe someone else could use it, get it recycled back into Gary. He's a great guy. He just got back from 10 days gone, helping out Samaritan's Purse with some of the disaster relief areas, chopping up trees and stuff. Why don't you go ahead and donate some equipment over to Gary? All right. So that is Ridgetop Mower of Springfield. Okay, back to school teacher event. Okay, so there's some cool back to school stuff where kids can get free supplies, but this one is actually a teacher event. That is this Saturday, and this is in Goodlettsville, but it would be really great to see some more teacher events happening. This is by Rust and Ruffles Boutique at 136 South Main Street in Goodlettsville. So they are giving 15% off for teachers with a valid school ID. And then you can also enter to win their annual teacher giveaway with a $100 purchase. So they have new arrivals coming all the time for the classroom, fun shopping, and stuff like that. So that is for teachers. But we also do have an event coming up, and I will cover that in a second. Here, let me scroll a little bit further. Oh, What a Night fundraiser at Whataburger. This is in Springfield, Friday, July 31st from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I will let you read all about that because I can't believe it's already 8:25. Flower arrangement class is going to happen Friday, July 24th, 6 to 7 p.m. and Friday, July 31st. This is in Portland, but you can get the information if you go to my Facebook page. It's this Friday at 6 or next Friday at 6, and that's 6 to 7. I'm looking to do a flower arranging class perhaps at the well sometime soon. Pep Rally on the Road. This is going to be a save the date because this is Tuesday, August 11th at 6 p.m. I know the Pep Rally for all the high schools used to be in the square. It's not anymore. And then they tried it out over at the splash pad area, and they're not going to do it there. What they've decided to do is rotate it around at the high schools. Now, White House Heritage High is where the first one's going to be. And before you all say like, well, why did they get it? It's because they won last year. Okay, so it's not going to go to the winner every year. They're going to be drawing, and so that it kind of gets to every school. But White House Heritage gets to be the first one because they won last year. So 6 p.m. Tuesday, August 11th is the Pep Rally on the road. This looks super fun. Two Rivers Mansion. I don't know if you've been to that, but when Stephen and I were in the For King and Country music video, which was fabulous, by the way, it was filmed at the Two Rivers Mansion. And they are going to be having some music there featuring Timbo and Lonesome Country. This is at 3130 McGavock Pike in Nashville. And this is Saturday, August 8th at 6 p.m. Sounds super cool. Let's see here. It says, join us, bring a chair or a blanket. Enjoy an evening of live music in a historic setting. Coolers are allowed. They will have food trucks. The mansion grounds will be open at 6 p.m. for dinner, announcements, and 7 p.m. is when the music starts. I guess it starts, announcements at 7, music starts at 7:30. Tickets are $10 or $30 maximum per vehicle. Okay, if you're a member, a friend's member of the two mansions, you get in for only $5 or $20 for a vehicle. So that's something cool. So check that out because, like I said, this is the place that For King and Country filmed their pretty much the entire video, I think. So if you want to see that, that would be cool. Okay. Big Sky at Sunset. This is this Saturday at 5 p.m. Okay. So if you're not going to, if your marriage is absolutely perfect and you don't want to improve it at all, then you can go to the Big Sky event at Sunset. This is going to be in Portland. I put the post up there. It is at 5 to 8 p.m. It is a ticketed item, so you can click on that for more info. There summer concert series at Indian Lake. There's several summer concert series starting, and I know that like this one's not in Robertson County, but it's super cool and it's not that far. And so it's going to be every Thursday through September 3rd. Okay, so it's 6:30 to 9, and of course it's in this on the streets of Indian Lake. Speaking of Indian Lake, we just went and saw Young Washington, and I highly recommend y'all see it because it was so wonderful. I just can't say enough. It just made me even more patriotic and just more appreciate our founders. Young Washington, and that's where it's playing. And then when we were there, they played a preview for Drummer Boy, and that looks super awesome too. Speaking of for King and Country, because they are in it. It's all they yeah. Okay, so let me get back to where I was talking about the music. Streets of Indian Lake. Let's see here. Schedule. Oh yeah. So what are we on now? July 23rd. Loge box office box one. Okay, they have all of the bands actually listed by date. So just go to my Lee Marie Facebook page and pull that up, and you can see all the bands that are coming to that. So super cool, super fun, and free. All right, let's keep going here. Like I said, I was sharing a lot. There is a third annual Cancer Drive Poker Run happening August 1st. And that is in Jolton, but is for a very good cause. And so to make sure you guys click on that. Okay, here's the other back to school bash, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. this Saturday at Springfield High School, 5240 Highway 76 East. And so what this is let me bring that up real quick. They're switching up things a bit. It says we're bringing the energy to Springfield High School, giving us more space to go bigger and better. So this is for Robertson County students from elementary, middle, and high school. So you can expect free school supplies. There'll be music, games, food, community resources. And again, this is a new location, so you're going to want to tell your friends about that. So that, again, is this Saturday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Springfield High School. Bring the kids out and get some, 'cause it's never too early to start getting all your stuff lined up. Reading Pause. This is really cool. Stokes Brown Public Library. Rose does so many fun things, and this is Reading Pause. So you can practice reading out loud with a therapy dog. Is that cool or what? And I'm wondering, do you have to be a kid? Can you just go by and see the therapy dogs? That is Tuesday, July 28th at 3:30 p.m. at Stokes Brown Public Library. Stokes Brown really should change their name. They should not be called Public Library. It should be called, it could be called Public Library and Activity Center or Community Center or something, because they have a lot going on. They got music and movement coming. That is Mondays at 10:30 for the littles. That is super fun. They get to jump around and sing and learn stuff at the same time. I've been to that. Lots of children are at that, so you better get there early. They do, Stokes Brown's also doing some movie nights. So Thursdays. So tomorrow at 5:30. And I think, let me see, do I remember? Let me see. I know that I looked it up, and that's one thing is on Facebook, you have to pull up the whole, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That'll be fun to see on a big screen. So Stokes Brown Public Library, that's absolutely free. They got, hey, come on in and have a seat. You want to come in and have a seat? You can come on, please. Come on in, because I want you to say a little bit about the Young Washington movie. Let me introduce my better half, and I want to tell you that. Oh, let me turn your
What half?
The better half.
Better half.
Aw.
No,
Thank you, sweetheart.
they're both the better halves.
Oh, that's so sweet, and I'm so excited to be doing the Heart to Heart Marriage series with you that starts this Saturday.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Just rollicking good time.
And don't you just love Sheila and David Byrd?
Oh yeah.
And they're going to be leading that. So there you go. Look at there, you're on the camera.
Young Washington.
Okay.
Oh boy. I tell you, I was so impressed with that. And a lot of people say, well, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. In fact, it was great. It was so good. I just didn't want it to end. I wanted,
know, me too.
did you want it to keep going and going and going? Yeah,
Yes.
I did. It's the kind of story where I want to know what happens next. I want it to keep going. They could do a series with that.
Oh.
They could seriously do a triple, maybe,
like
a sequel,
Founder series.
a triple.
Oh
Yeah, a quadruple. They could keep that going. But the message is very clear that Providence plays a hand in the forming of this nation. And that was something that has been left out and obscured in history. Now, we see when you go to learn American history, what's been erased is the idea of Providence. They didn't like that. The teachers or the people who write the curriculum did not like Americans thinking that it was provincial. They didn't like that. But every time you turn around and look, you have example after example after example that this was meant to be. This new world that we have here, and I tell you, against all odds, it should be the title of every single movie on American history, because it's against all odds for so many situations, all the way through. There were a lot of very, very tragic events that happened in the forming of the United States of America. This nation that turned out to be the most sought after land in the world and the most sought after, I would say, experimental government in the world, because we allowed more freedom than any other system. And of course, we get pushback on that now, and people are trying to take away freedoms. They say, oh, we don't like all this freedom that the people have, right? Well, people come to this country because they want that freedom. They want the freedom to be able to carve out their own life. And that is still alive today, in spite of the fact that people have tried to take away so many rights, that we've regulated our businesses to the point where it's just really, really bad. But it's still better than Europe. It's better than every other nation of the world. They're even worse, way worse when it comes to regulation. And we are deregulating as fast as we possibly can. Hopefully in the state of Tennessee, we're going to deregulate too. But, not being political, but just being from a business point of view, the regulations kill the people. They kill the people. They don't allow growth. They don't allow that. So deregulation is really on the rise. Hopefully it'll stay that way, and we get back to what we were originally. Right?
We don't want to say that everything should be, because there's a place for some of it, but there's some.
There's a place for regulation, but sometimes it's just ridiculous.
Sometimes it's over-regulated for really bizarre reasons.
Played a hand. Young Washington is just the beginning of this story that is not being told, has not been told. What do you learn? What do you remember about school, young Washington in school? Oh, he chopped down a cherry tree and he could not tell a lie, right? That was, that's what they replaced. They used that as sort of a replacement to the idea that God had a hand in preserving Washington against all odds. The man should have been dead early on, when he was very young, when he was fighting as a colonial, helping the British secure land in the north, in the Ohio Valley, in the Ohio North. And he was working for them as a colonial, not as an officer for the British, because he couldn't become an officer for the British. They wouldn't allow him. And this is what's outlined in that movie. So you're going to see that struggle, but you're going to see his commitment. This is the great thing about it. His commitment to the principles, which we call American values, that he had it from the very beginning. And it could only come from a person like that. It can only come from a colonial who knew he would never become a British person. He would never become an officer for the British. He would never be a British citizen. He would always be a colonial. So he had to remake what the land would be like. He had to remake his whole idea of possession of the land, what that meant, dominion of the land, what that meant. And we remade it in the American way. That's how we should look back on it. There's an American form of land dominion, and that was created by the colonials. And, when they say, the French officer, it's a very great line there, and I don't want to give too much away, but one of the French officers that they're in battle with says, of course, the land belongs to whoever can tame it. Now that has a lot of different effects and meanings and repercussions, for who can tame it. So it's not about taming the land, but it was about creating a new value system, that those who could work hard could make it in this land. And those who could share and work hard could make it in this land. And they did. And of course they did, because we're here today to talk about it.
And I love, the other messages too, just about how much our founders went through, that was, I think, a big message that I got. And then also just how, he didn't want to, make more money than the other guys. It was just so, he volunteered, his spirit of volunteerism, and
it was about honor.
Yeah.
And you can see Virginian honor. So anybody from Virginia needs to see this, because we talk about Virginia a lot here. The Virginia Regiment is what we're talking about. And their color was indigo blue. And so, of course, there's a uniform situation there where some were wearing blue and some were wearing crimson. Crimson was the color of the colonial, and red was the color of the British. And so there was sort of a fitting that crimson, because it was by the blood, the crimson blood of the colonials. They gave their blood to form what we have today. And so that early form of the uniform of the colonials officer with the crimson jackets was very telling in that they were going to give their blood.
Yeah, I'm ready to go see it again, actually.
I could see it again.
You know,
And
your mom
anybody
wants to
who
go
wants to go.
again to a movie next week. I think we should go see that again because I really want to.
Absolutely.
You know, because I was missing so much because there was just, you know.
Yep. I like to go see movies twice because I usually get up to go to the bathroom in between. And so I'll go to the bathroom at a different time in the movie, so I'll get to see that part that I missed the first time. Same thing, right? You got to go see it twice because you're going to have one bathroom break. And
well, I did actually have a bathroom break, and so did you. All right.
Absolutely.
So do you want to help
I can't hang out here too long because I got to go do stuff. They're making me do stuff. So I got to go do stuff.
Well, before you go, I want to tell you about something that's happening this Saturday at 10 a.m. Guess what?
What's happening?
A kayak adventure.
A kayak adventure. I'm going.
Yes. Okay. So this is really cool. It's a church, Epiphany, right here in Springfield, is inviting people. It says friends or family, so we would be friends because that's not our church family, but we're kind of notorious for crashing other churches. So this is going to be this Saturday, 10 a.m. It says whether you're an experienced paddler or trying kayaking for the first time, would love to have you come along. Bring your kayak, life jacket, water, snacks, spirit of adventure. I have all of those. All ages welcome. Faith, family, fun, paddle with purpose. Is that super fun or what?
I think it's a great idea. And, I'm going to leave my phone at home because, the way I am, I'll be like a novice paddler out there dropping my phone in the river and it'll be gone. So, I won't be taking my phone along. So don't expect me to have a vlog of the paddle trip, but I will come back and tell tales of victory and death along the way, of course.
So Epiphany is doing that, and I think that's great. So you can get a hold of epiphanybaptist.com. That's the website, epiphanybaptist.com. Or you can give them a call at 615-382-5550. Or you can email them at admin@epiphanybaptist.com. And Epiphany is spelled EPIPHAN.
Do I have to register for that?
I know. I'm going to call after the show and find out because we are there.
Please find out for me. So
Okay.
I would love to do that. And I think we can get some kayaks together and go up there.
Yes. I have a friend that just told me she has some. I could borrow them.
Okay. I don't want to be up a river without a paddle. So if she's got the paddles to go with it, that would be
So
good.
how fun is that? I love it. Kayaking adventure. And I already told them about the fish
Maybe
fry.
I'll just get a big long stick, poke it in the water like they do down in the bayou.
Oh my goodness. So hey, Stephen, real quick, can you do a little plug? Because I know
Be like Huckleberry Finn down there,
You've been to the annual fish fries before. So there's one this Friday at Fluellen. Can you tell them about that?
There's two things that I love in this world. That's fried food and fried food. So I can tell
I'm
you.
glad you said that because I thought I was going to say something else. So go ahead.
Yeah. That's two things I love in this world. So I will be there.
You always have a
Friday
great
night.
time.
What time is that Friday night?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. I'm going to take a nap and not eat for 5 or 6 hours before.
Okay.
So I can load up. It's one of those things I like to do.
I know Caleb is always there. Caleb Stratton.
Caleb will be there.
Yeah.
That's great.
So all your buddies. You always see everybody.
Caleb is our regional sergeant. So he's taking care of us in the woods here.
All the
I
wildlife.
asked him, I said, do you watch Northwoods Law? He laughed. I said, oh, you do. You do. I know you do. So, yeah, they're going to catch somebody out there, some poachers.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't be poaching, y'all. Sergeant Caleb will come get you. He's going to take you down. The boys are going to come get you. They're going to take you down.
Oh, and I do want to thank Caleb for coming and speaking at our last TFA. He did an awesome job.
He did. He's great.
And his little
We
sidekick.
got a lot of bears out there. Caleb's going to come in here and talk about bears because the bears population is growing again.
That was fun. I wasn't expecting him to talk so much bearness, but that was really, really good. And there's
love
not
the
that
bear.
many bears. People are thinking there's a lot. There's really not.
I was in the woods once and then I saw this cute little baby bear came running up to me. And I thought, oh, how cute that little baby bear is. But, there's a mama close by.
Yeah.
So I got in my car and I got away from that little bear as fast as I could because I knew the mama was coming. And that is the thing. If you get close to a baby bear, the mama will consider that a threat no matter what. And that mama can be, and I found out from Caleb that those mama bears, when their babies are threatened, they are meaner than a male bear.
Oh.
So they will take you out.
Wow.
Yeah, a mama bear will take you out.
I guess
You
why
get
that's why
close
they
to the
use
baby.
that term, because a lot of ladies that are,
They have super
protective.
bear strength. They're
mama
like
bear.
super bear heroes
All right.
to protect their baby bears.
How do you like my new shirt?
Oh, you know what? I love your new shirt.
Yeah,
That's a
WSGI.
no fade, good old gospel hour.
And you can
love
get
it.
these stickers. I think Gary Rastelli still has some of these cool stickers at his location. He's one of the last ones that still has them.
Everybody loves good old gospel, and if you've been around at all, even if you're a young person, you are exposed to it because your grandparents have always loved good old gospel. It just goes back over 100 years. So we got good old gospel here. And,
All right, now
I
it's-
need to play that all day long and all night long. And I know sometimes I'll just turn the radio on. It'll be on. It'll be on the internet or it'll be on. And I'll be listening to great old songs that I listened to since childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So tune in to WSGI 1100 AM whenever you can and get you some good old gospel.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for making a guest appearance. That was awesome.
Oh, God, I love it.
I wasn't expecting you, but Linda's telling me I do need to thank a couple people here.
Let's do that. Thank you. And I got to get on. They're going to make me do stuff. So I got to
Okay.
go check for trees that are down and do other stuff today.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, thanks for stopping in.
thanks again.
Stephen Astaire, the one and only. And happy anniversary weekend. All right. So, yes, Coldstream Christian Camp. They just had their closing ceremonies for their summer camps. And if you have not gone on to see all the pictures and the video, you really need to do that. Just smiles ear to ear on these kids from the camp this year. So make sure you get your kids in for next year. You can visit their website at coldstreamchristiancamp.org, or you can call them at 615-696-2208. Or you can look at their website, coldstreamchristiancamp.org. And I tell you, I'm loving these pictures here. You can see exactly what they're doing. Just so many friendships, so many lives being changed. They're located at 4730 Goodman Road in Adams. So not very far, but you feel like you are a world away. Oh my gosh, I just want to cry when I see some of these pictures of the kids sitting shoulder to shoulder, looking at the water and stuff. Okay, guys. I'm back. UPS. I also want to thank UPS for being one of our sponsors. They are just not where you take your Amazon packages, although they have a really cool self-help kiosk now. So you don't have to wait in line. You just walk right up and oftentimes you can just do it right there. But, their lines never are that long anyway. And the people there are so enjoyable and the music is pleasant. So go on in, and it's UPS store on Memorial Boulevard at 513 Memorial Boulevard in Springfield. Their phone number is 615-384-0093. Again, that's 615-384-0093. Maybe you have something that you want to have printed and you want to make sure that they received the email. Go ahead and give them a call. Make sure you tell them Lee Marie sent you. They are doing so much in the community. They're always sponsoring and helping so many of our nonprofits and our churches. They are just a wonderful community help. So UPS store in Springfield, go see them. And then I do want to also mention a Southside Drugstore. They have been a sponsor from the very get-go. Southside Drugstore is right there on Main Street. And what's so great, I love being able to just pull right up and not have to walk through a crazy parking lot. And sometimes, I would think I'm going to go to, Walmart or one of these bigger stores because the prices are better. Oftentimes they're the same. So, check it out. Plus you don't have to walk a mile to get in, right? They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays they're open 8 a.m. to noon. So that's great hours. Their phone number, if you want to make sure they have whatever you're looking for, 615-384-3546. Again, 615-384-3546. We want to make sure that we're supporting these local pharmacies because this has been around for over 100 years, and we want to keep places like that in our small towns because there's just nothing like that. So please support them one way or another, either getting your prescriptions transferred over there or just going in and buying gifts because they do have gifts there. So super fun. Okay, so much going on. I can't believe I only have 10 minutes left. Okay, well, back to my Facebook page so I can tell you about some more events that are coming up. This Saturday, I forgot to mention that this Saturday there is a free class. It's called Successful Homeschool Tips. And Carla is going to be doing this. She was a very successful homeschool mom. She figured out first off, she was an RN. She also was music. She has such a huge just wide background. Anyways, she was successful in teaching her children who are different ages. And so she knows ways that you can do one lesson for a lot of different ages and still have them all engaged, which that is like, I know, one of the biggest challenges. But she is going to be at Well in the Square in the storefront space. So don't go downstairs into the ballroom like you do for line dance, because that's church and it's in Spanish. You want to, Saturdays in the daytime, you want to go to the front Well in the Square location. She's going to do a free class from 10 a.m. to 11:30, and absolutely free. We would like you to private message an RSVP in if you can, so that we know about how many chairs to arrange. But I guarantee you, homeschool parents, you are going to get some great tips. And even if you only got one, that can make the whole difference. And so Carla is kind of funny. I have to tell you how I met Carla, because I met her in the homeschool curriculum section of Crossroads Christian Bookstore. She was looking at books, and she's from Clarksville, by the way. And I was starting a line dance class downstairs. And so I saw her because I could see up the stairs. And I went up there and I said, ma'am, we're going to start a line dance class if you'd like to come and watch, or if you'd like to try it out. And she said, oh, well, I don't have good shoes on, but I'm going to come down and watch. And so she watched. And she goes, oh, that sounds really fun. And so next week she came. Anyways, so when I met her in the homeschool section, checking out curriculum, because she was getting some stuff for her, I said, oh, are you a homeschool mom or a homeschool grandma? She goes, well, no, I'm a homeschool student. I'm the last one at my homeschool. So she still buys homeschool curriculum for herself because she always loves to continue learning. So her homeschool, she was calling Helping Hands Homeschool. And so, yeah, she said, I'm the last one to graduate. I'm still there. So anyway, she has a huge heart for homeschoolers and just for people in general. She's amazing. And anyway, she is the mom that's going to be doing the Successful Homeschool Tips class this Saturday. Please spread the word, because I would love for her to have a good turnout. This is, something she only does once a year, so you better get on it. So again, that's this Saturday, Well in the Square, 600 South Main Street in Springfield. And if you don't know where Crossroads is, I know you know where the beautiful historic courthouse is. Crossroads is like kitty corner, so it's across the street, but when you walk out of Crossroads and you look to the right, you will see the beautiful historic courthouse that I love. And so Crossroads Bookstore is right there, which has fabulous gifts, by the way. And then very right next door is my place, Well in the Square. And again, we have classes all the time getting added to our catalog to make people healthy and happy and to connect people. Community connection is so important, guys. That is what saves us so many times. We just need another human next to us to listen or to share or to go or to eat or something. Human connection is very important, guys. Without that, a lot of things can go awry. So I love connecting people. And that's one of my things that I do. I connect people to classes and connect people to humans, to other people. There is a kids movie day today at 2 p.m. at the library. You're going to have to click on the Stokes Brown to see what movie that is. Oh, yeah. I only have 10 minutes, not even. Okay. I did post some other really cool things as well on my Facebook page. And so I hope that you'll check those out. A lot of them are wellness related or just inspirational. Don't underestimate when you post like a Bible, a scripture, or something inspirational. God uses us in so many ways. I just have to remind you that one time, I had somebody contact me because I had posted a lot of Bible verses. And so she was one of my dance students in another state. And she said, where do you go to church? And I said, I go to the Rock in Anaheim, whatever. And I said, it's at 11. I'll pick you up this Sunday. How's that? And I picked her up. And later did I find out that she had a suicide note was already written. And that was her last ditch effort to reach out to someone, was to let me go to church once and see. And that changed her entire life around. So God can use you guys. And, the scripture does not come back void. You got to remember that. And so you have to try to post scripture, and and you just don't know how the Lord is going to be using that. And so it's really exciting. And I want to hear your stories after you've done that. I want to hear your stories because I know that there's a lot of evil things with the internet and AI and yada, yada, but you just have to make sure you have safeguards going on, that you're not doing anything too much. Too much screen time is affecting a lot of people in very negative ways. And we have to remind ourselves that we need to get out. We need to be moving our bodies. And, oh yeah, there was one thing. I don't know if I can find it fast enough. Maybe, cause I'm not sure if it's, oh yeah. Well, no, I did post this picture. It says aging without dancing. And then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladies, like one lady at her 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then it said aging with dancing. Guys, remember, movement is a huge anti-aging activity. So just make sure that you're doing that. But anyways, I'll just see if I can find it real quick. I think it might be back on the Lee Marie page. Hold on one second. But be posting inspirational stuff. I know that there's a lot of, social media people that they ask for comments a lot, like, oh, list something great that happened to you today or whatever. And so why not list or, like sometimes it'll say, or list something just positive or something that made you smile. Why don't you list a scripture, or something inspirational? Because, there's some people that are reading those and you just don't know who is going to read that and just really become affected by it. And their life could be changed. In this case with this woman that I picked up for church, it completely changed her life. She ended up going to school for ministry. She's happily married. There's just, don't underestimate. Oh yeah. Sign language. I gotta tell you about this. Oh my goodness. Last Saturday, thank you guys, everybody that came out to the Pray for TN event. And for those of you that were brave enough to sign Amazing Grace, most of us were signing it for the very first time, as far as in public. And it was wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Alana, we are loving Alana Fan. She is not only the official interpreter for the Robertson County School District, she is an awesome sign language teacher. She's doing classes and she's now just finished. Last night, she finished her second level 1. She is starting up another level 1 and she's starting up a level 2. So the first Thursday in August, 3:30, because I heard from some homeschoolers. So make sure you tell homeschoolers about this because sign language is a second language. It counts as that. So 3:30 to 4:30, Alana is going to be teaching a level 1. So homeschoolers, you wanted something earlier than 6, so you got this. So you better come out to it. And that series is only $59. So it's only $59 for a 7-week, I believe it's 7 weeks series, which is awesome. So register, get your spot reserved today for that. Then level 2, there's now a level 2 because we've just graduated 2 level 1 classes. So level 2 will be starting that same day, that Thursday, first Thursday of August. I think it's August 6th. I'll look it up. That level 2 is going to be at 6 p.m. So level 1 at 3:30, level 2 at 6:30 p.m. Okay. And, the level 2 is $69, so it's $10 more, and it is more advanced, guys. So don't just think, oh, I know my alphabet, I can go to level 2. There's not going to be a lot of talking in level 2. I'm going to just tell you. She said, she would love it if it was just silent. So, yeah, it's going to be challenging, but it's definitely going to be worth it. And then also, if because our deaf awareness community in Springfield is growing, it's so exciting. We want to start doing some other meetup things too. But if you want to take both classes, like, so say maybe you're level 2, but you would love some extra practice with level 1, you can enroll in both for only $99. So, basically you get level 1 at half price. If you are in level 2, you can do them both, which is great because you can sign some more. I know a lot of people do come at quarter till class and they just start signing with each other, with other students or with the teacher. And just for that extra practice. And then also you're going to make some more friends. You're going to make more new friends, more deaf awareness friends. Many of our students have a family member who is deaf. And so a lot of them actually know a lot more sign language than normal level 1 that I would think would be level 1. So anyways, I hope that you will take advantage of Alana's classes because she's wonderful and she has a great sense of humor as well. And she helped us. She taught us Amazing Grace so that we could sign it at last Saturday's Pray for TN event, which thank you, Brother T, for putting on an awesome event. And thank you all the people that participated in that. It was so great to see the community coming together and praying for what is right and good and pure. And the next prayer on the courthouse steps will be the National Day of Prayer, and that will be the first Thursday of August. I'm sorry, first Thursday of May. First Thursday of May. Yeah, so much going on in my brain. As far as dates and times, not too much else. No, just kidding. Okay, so we only got 1 minute left. Again, you can go to the Lee Marie Facebook page or the Well and Square Facebook page. That is where I've shared a lot of stuff. On the Well and the Square Facebook page, I will remind you that there is a brochure of all the classes. We still have free classes coming up. I hope you guys will take advantage of that. Invite people. Outside of the Well in the Square, you will find a big bulletin board with a lot of the flyers listed. Again, remember, look who won right here. Front page, top of the connection. Tennessee Rhythm won the square dancing team of the for Tennessee. So awesome. And we have Elizabeth Clark coming. She's going to be starting again. I'll tell you the first August Monday. So there's 5 Mondays in August. She's going to teach in every single one of those. Clogging 101. This is for beginners. And you can still get the $79 price if you say you heard it on the Go Show. Otherwise, it's $99 for all 5 weeks. You're going to want to do that. All ages, basically, 10 through adult. So far, we have all adults that are signed up. But again, great activity for you and your kids to get some extra stuff going on, extra experience, extra exercise. And I'm being reminded that it is 9:00. So I'm going to have to say goodbye now, but I hope that I will see you guys on the dance floor today at 1:00 for an absolute beginner line dance class. Thursday, beginner at 10:15, intermediate at 11. 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Thursday night, I'm going to be doing an all levels. So it's basically intermediate and above. But beginners are always welcome. Just know whenever it says intermediate, we are going to be doing some stuff that could be a little bit difficult for you. But then Friday night at 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing an absolute beginner line dance class again. So lots of fun stuff, lots of opportunities to get connected with our community, guys. Please keep sending me events because I love to talk about as many events as I can possibly squeeze in an hour. But it is 9:01, so I am going to have to say goodbye. Thank you guys all for listening. I hope that I will see you out and about. God bless you all. You have been listening to 1100 WSGI.